Greetings and salutations, my fine old Republic friends. Welcome to the Bad Feeling Podcast.
Welcome!
How the hell are you doing? I am Chuck.
I'm Brian.
And this is the show that talks about this game that soaks up every waking second of our life, Star Wars The Old Republic.
Yes.
I tell you what.
Dude!
Oh, man. I mentioned in our pre-roll, because we are now streaming this thing on the old Twitch and stuff.
Hello, Internet.
It's been kind of a discouraging couple of weeks here for me in SWTOR, because I feel like I'm so far behind now. Like I'm just not. I guess I just need to do more content. Like do more of the other stuff.
Do everything. Like
I guess I need to.
Even if
I just gotta give up and just go for it.
I mean, you can still do heroics and level up through that shit. But you can do. You can do one of everything.
No, PvP just doesn't pay off. But you said there's gonna like changes in GSF, which will make a difference.
So coming with 5.2, GSF will give assembly components. Everything you kill will give CXP a little bit.
That's good.
Not just the elites and the whatevers. Yeah. So everything you kill. So So you can do anything. Just walk around fucking Coruscant and blow shit away. Yeah,
no, I need to get into more stuff, and it's just you get so used to just getting in the habit of doing the one thing that you do like so much,
Fair enough.
And that's what I do. It's what I do. But now even that is like terrible. It's terrible. Like like I said, I'm so far behind. It's just like, I'm just getting ganked over and over and over again.
But this is an MMO, motherfucker. You should be used to the gear grind every tier.
I am used to the gear grind, but the problem is that I used to gear grind out Warzone comms, and that actually did not take that long to do. Like that was actually pretty easy. I mean, you could grind that out pretty quickly, and everybody was kind of on the same level as you start. Now it's like I said, I waited a couple of weeks to really kind of go balls out in it, and now I'm fucked.
Missed the CXP train.
Dude, totally. I mean, I'm just kind of completely jacked now because I mean, I've got people that you see them with maxed out stuff, and you're going, that's 30% advantage.
Damn it.
Just like straight out from what I've got. It's
well, because they lowered the bolster down as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I've got my little tier 3 flag on. Fuck yeah, I'm awesome.
Hey, make sure you're subscribed to this podcast all over the place. iTunes, Google, wherever you get your damn thing. Podcatchers will find the Bad Feeling Podcast if you put it in the search bar. That's what you got to do. So,
that's all there is to it.
That way you can find us. You can find us all over the place on Twitch. You can find us on Facebook.com/Bad Feeling Podcast, on Twitter.
At Bad Feeling PDCST.
And if you would love to, support us with our new taco fund.
Dude.
I actually finally just named it the Taco Fund on Patreon. So
let's not dick around.
there was trying to pretend that we were actually somewhat legitimate and we're not spending it on nothing but tacos, but that's all we're spending.
No,
so now you can be a Taco Grande member
if
you would like to do so at patreon.com/Bad Feeling Podcast. If you do that, and also there's a cool thing now they just added to the Patreon. For your podcatchers, where you can download the RSS feed,
the direct
right from
RSS
Patreon.
feed.
So if you do it and you've got the early downloads and stuff,
that's right.
It'll come right to your device and stuff once you get that RSS feed in here and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Bad Feeling Wednesday instead of Bad Feeling Thursday.
So thank you very much to all of our supporters so far. We appreciate that. And I am full of tacos, so
good.
As well as full of shit. So it's all good.
Who knew?
So it's all good. This episode, we gotta talk about some speculation that people have been making and put some things to rest because we're smarter than everybody else. No, not really.
No, we're just late to the bandwagon, and then the bandwagon changed course, and look at what we did.
I would have loved to find out what these guys. I don't know who found out what, but somebody's been making some speculations, and somehow it got out somewhere about something. So I'm talking a little bit about that because we're kind of in the holding pattern right now.
Damn it!
By the way,
damn it!
At this point today, we'd be preparing to go and defeat the God of Rage.
Tithe.
But
Mighty Tithe.
But that's not going to happen tonight, is it?
We'd be on Iocath doing Walker Stomper.
It's not gonna. Well, is that the game? Is it Walker Stomper?
Yeah, Walker Stomper.
Walker Stomper.
Because you can go Walker v Whomper, dude. Walker.
We've said, dude.
Yeah.
So now delayed. So 5.2 delayed. Wah wah wah. And didn't find out delayed until.
Like
Monday afternoon?
Before?
Yeah, like the day before it was supposed to come out.
Damn it.
And oh my God, internet outrage, like crazy internet outrage, at least about that, because Which is understandable. It's totally understandable because they delayed the stream first off because they couldn't get the stream to work
right.
correctly on Thursday.
Oh, well, so I can relate this fucking shit.
Well, I get that, but it's also we're dumbass audiophiles. We're not fucking video people.
I know, dude, moving pictures and shit.
Yeah, I know. So weird. The thing about that is they do the stream did it for every week there for a while.
Right.
So you figure they got
it down. They had a handle on it.
But something happened on Thursday, so that was delayed at first on Friday. But then, of course, everything was kosher Friday. That everything was coming on Tuesday.
Everybody's all suited up. Fucking
like ready to go and all that stuff. So something in between then and Monday happened to where now we got to delay it for a week.
They're going to delay for a week. So we don't know exactly what they put it under the aegis of. Quality. We don't want it to suck. And
I get that.
That could mean anything. That could be there's an issue with cross factions, or that could mean there's an exploit somewhere, like one of the Uprising master modes. Maybe there's an exploit in there, or maybe there's like some way to exploit your walker and like take it into a regular war zone or some shit, which would be rad, right?
That'd be fucking
like
cool.
If the queue pops while you're in a walker on IOCAT, how fucking rad would that be?
Oh my God, that'd be so cool.
Or maybe something was fucked up with the operation. We don't know, but it's not quite ready for prime time, so they're going to delay it. But that got them in a fix. Because this CXP bonus event was scheduled to end right when the new update comes in, but then they had to hot patch to extend the CXP event for another week. So either way,
but that's to me that's a minor thing. The big thing about this whole deal has nothing to do with that little tidbit there, which I think is kind of crazy that they did it that way and they had to actually do that. But to me, the thing about it is that you had 2 years to get an operation and an expansion like this rolling, right? You had plenty of time.
You think that's not enough time?
Get this thing working.
2 years and a week.
and this was pointed out on the forums and Reddit and Twitter and everywhere else that it was pointed out that you had plenty of time to work out the bugs on this stuff. Why are the bugs not worked out until the week before it comes out?
Don't know.
The hours before it comes out. Less than 24 hours from release of it, they decide to pull it.
Well, now, I have to imagine that I want to think that maybe they knew about something that was fucked up, but the fix is taking a long time. Not the finding, but the fixing.
Maybe, but I mean, you got to, no matter what, it's got to be something like that. But I'll bet you money it's an exploit of some kind. Like Probably. Somebody found something, like, what I mean? It's got to be some kind of exploit because otherwise it wouldn't. But I get they want to put out the quality product,
right?
And it matters, and it really does, and I understand that. But man, this is one of those things that we talked about a dozen times on the show about. You set a date, you got to hit your fucking target, man.
I know.
You can't, because if you don't, it's just, it looks bad.
Well, but for the longest time, the release date was sometime in April-ish, springtime.
I know.
And that was fine. And then when they hammered it down to April 11th, then they're going to miss it. So,
well, and that's the thing is like, I'm sorry that, because this is what happens right now is that you get it. A week of bad shit, just people going, right, bitching about it and moaning about it and all that stuff, and it's like, well, all right. So I don't know, and I feel pity on them. I'm like, I
do.
It's like I understand they definitely want to get it right, and they put something out that's fucked up. Then the reverse of this thing goes where you put it out that's fucked up,
and everybody
like,
calls
them. Oh my God, it's all fucked up. But you had 2 years to do it. Why is it all fucked up? So I mean, there's the reverse of that.
It is a lose-lose. Yeah, it really is. But
so
I hope that it's just a week. Like they figured out, because remember, when Eternal Championship was a thing, it was, it's going to be ready, January.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then it's going to be ready in February. And then, maybe it's going to be, no. And they kept having to push it back. They kept having to rework it. So I really hope it's just a week. And if they can't figure it out in a week, I would really like to see them just take out the piece that's fucked up and do the other thing. So if the operation is fucked up, release the daily area or vice versa, or just do the story content and then release the operation. And then, they're trying to hit a lot of bases with this update, which is commendable. They're doing a lot of things.
But that's what they're supposed to do.
Everybody gets a little bit of something, right?
Yeah, well, that's what come on. This is not like it's not like they haven't done this before.
I know.
It's not like they haven't released a freaking daily area. Right. It's not like they haven't released a new operations or boss. It's not like they haven't released, it's not like they haven't done this before.
True.
So to me, that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't I sort of excuse it because I know that it's a lot of stuff, but at the same time, it's like it's not new hat. You know, it's not something that they haven't done.
But
they haven't done it in a while, but still.
Well, yes and no, because they're exploring new things with the cross faction or change your sides with the PvP and the Walker Stomper shit. Like they are branching out into new territory. If none of that new tech existed, then there's really no excuse for a daily area.
But they've been dealing with cross faction stuff for from the whole alliance thing,
from IOCAT or from the Odessan Warzone.
I mean, the thing is that it's been sort of dealt with in a way for a while now. So
it should be familiar.
Yeah, and it should be top of mind. So it should be something that this is going to be something we need to watch out for. Blah 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 blah. Not something that it's the night before we release it.
Pull the plug.
What are we gonna do?
Stop the presses.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what gets me. God. It's like, well, fuck. Well, was this seen or was it not seen or? I don't know.
Part of me almost wishes that like some of the bugs would stay.
Why?
You just to have funny shit to look at on the internet.
Oh.
Like you remember in what was it, the Ziost expansion where you could build a speeder?
Oh yeah.
And then you could take it into war zones if the queue popped while you're in that quest.
Right.
I just want funny shit like that.
Some of those are fun.
Yeah. There was another bug.
Unless it breaks, unless
it's like exploit or ruins things.
That's the problem is that that's why I'm saying that's
silly,
what I'm
funny,
saying.
good time bugs.
I honestly think that this is probably something a little more serious as far as like some kind of exploit.
Right.
Which that's something that you can't sort of let slide. Because if you put it out,
I agree.
If you put it out with a known exploit,
especially if you know about it,
then you say that because then you could come out, with a statement that says, "Hey, there's this exploit, don't exploit it because of blah 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 blah." You'll get in trouble for it.
Sure.
I was like, but then they're like, "Well, why did you put it out with a known exploit in it?" So I mean, little bugs are one thing because you're gonna have those no matter what.
Right.
You'll have a cape that flies up and never falls down, or shit like that. Whatever it is. So I mean, those are gonna happen, and that's to be expected. But I don't know, man. I feel bad for them for actually missing this one because I think this was a very important one for them to hit because it has been so long since something like this was around.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are, former players that were really looking at this thing going, it's time to come back to SWTOR for operations. Now are like, oh, it's the same thing as when we left.
They came back and this is what you get.
Yeah. So it's like, well, shit. All right. So I feel bad that that's sort of the thing that is the news item right now, because it just I wish it wasn't. It should be different.
I agree.
After all this time.
But it always seemed like a risky proposition to do a big update like this and then have a bunch of people go over to Florida for a celebration, like Musco and Boyd, and like a whole bunch of the staff is going to be unavailable. It's what happens? They always release shit right before they go on vacation,
right?
And then it gets fucked up.
I was just about to say this is like Christmas 2015 or whatever. Yeah. It's like the same thing.
Exactly. That just seemed like a risky proposition to me.
Yeah.
So,
no, I get that too. And who knows? Maybe that had something to do with it. Like they didn't want to stomp on the new Battlefront trailer. Like they
Which
didn't.
Which is fucking rad, right?
Well, it's
a trailer.
It's a trailer,
but it looks fucking good, man.
But you know what I'm saying? Like maybe the whole thing was it's like, okay, we need to not steal the thunder from blah 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 blah.
Oh,
or
really?
Something like that. So.
Like I don't think SWTOR's in much of a place to steal anybody's thunder just yet. As little support as they get from Disney and EA, they're like the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, but as bad as Battlefront,
so if they could get any press at Celebration,
no, I agree with that. But as bad as Battlefront was, and the way that shit turned out with the DLC and everything else, and all that stuff that went down with Battlefront, they don't need any noise when it comes to Battlefront 2. Like they want to, I bet they want to keep that as clean as humanly possible.
Sure.
Because like I said, one was so freaking screwed.
But look at how much noise or how much promotion and media and all that shit Battlefront 1 got last year.
Yeah.
It was like Star Wars Battlefront Celebration.
Yeah.
In London or wherever the fuck it was last year. So I would like to see at least something for SWTOR, even if it takes away from Battlefront 2. Like, fuck you guys. You got all the money in the fucking world. Give the little redheaded stepchild a little love.
I know. It really is bad. And I don't know what holds it back. I mean, this kind of dovetails into the next part of the conversation that we were talking about. Is that it doesn't really seem to have a home in the new Star Wars sort of ethos and canon. I mean, we know that it's sort of there, but at the same time, it's like if it doesn't have Kylo Ren in it,
nobody's going to pay attention.
Nobody's going to give a shit about it. You know, if it's not in current time, because that was the whole thing about the new trailer for Battlefront 2. You're like, oh, it's Generoso. Oh my god.
Right.
It's Kylo Ren. Oh my god. Oh, it's Critic. Oh my god. You know, so people are freaking the fuck out about that shit, and because it's all it's got Rogue One shit in it. It's got 8. It's got 7. It's got it's got a lot of the stuff.
And it had Phantom Menace with like
that's what I'm saying. That is now, or that is part of the movies that are current as far as current time frame, you know, and not this 3,000 years in the past thing that we're dealing with SWTOR. So I think it's almost time for them to get some kind of, if they want to make this thing work and stay successful, I think it's almost time for us to get some kind of new revitalized KOTOR and or something else that has to do with this storyline,
this time frame
that gets people interested in it.
Yeah,
you know, like whether it's a Clone Wars version of, or something like where we're telling the story of Revan, or something.
There's a petition to bring, you know, Old Republic era shit to Netflix. It's like got 10,000 signatures or something.
Well, but nerds. Petition is a petition is a petition.
That's not going to make Disney spend money.
Nobody gives a shit about that. What Disney needs to see is like how many millions of people are going to enjoy this. Yes. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. 10,000 people.
No. If each of those 10,000 people brings in another 10,000 people,
right. The pyramid scheming.
You know, and if each of those 10,000 people brings
and then we start making money, profit. All right, cool.
Step 3.
So, I don't know. I think that's kind of the hard part is not as many new people are attached to this storyline as they used to be.
Right.
You know, because I played KOTOR, like, when I saw that come out, I was like, this is a great idea. Bought into it. You know, I'm not a novel reader, like a lot of
books, man.
The books and stuff. Like, that was not my thing. So this is like where I first learned about a lot of the storyline was from KOTOR. So like it was really cool to kind of pick that stuff up.
Right.
But now I don't think enough people are, you know, those games are old now.
Right.
So there's nobody
they're definitely
not
top of mind. And it's interesting because they, like, Rebels keeps making allusions back to that shit. Like there's they reference the Mandalorian Wars, and they reference Terrace, and they reference, you know, the dark saber that came out of the whatever, blah, blah, blah. So like all that shit from Rebels, they're referencing these things. So they're kind of sort of, but it's Easter eggs for people that already know it. It's not going to drive new people to play.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's these characters are actually very engaging and really cool. I mean, there's a reason that we had Revan come back in this game, or, you know,
time and time again.
Yeah. So it's engaging, and there's good stories there, but I just don't think people are familiar with it. And what was the rumor? So
that brings us to
the rumor that was coming about was basically a reboot, right?
Yeah. So there was an article, and I can't credit it right now, but it came out.
How about you don't? Because if it's not credible, then credit it or not.
So around the rumor mill in SWTOR and Star Wars was that Bioware Austin is working on another Star Wars game, and it started off as almost a reboot of KOTOR, but they're going to do a remake, retelling, reboot, revamp, reimagining of KOTOR in alignment with Disney. So, because if you remember the Knights of the Old Republic, all that shit became Legends. It became unofficial, not canon, when Disney bought them out and revamped the EU.
Yes.
But now they want to do a retelling of the Revan story with Disney's story group approval and blah, 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 and Bioware Austin's going to put it together, blah, blah, blah. And it's 99% been discredited. So, you know, Drew Karpyshyn, the main dude of the Revan character from the Revan novels and the KOTOR game and the Jedi Knight storyline and a bunch of other shit, he came out and said, well, I'm working on something, but it's not what everybody has misinterpreted other things to say. So he's working on something unnamed, but
if it was, do you think you would say it? No, I think not.
No,
the possibility.
But he also said
working on something. Something could be anything. It could possibly. Is it possible that it could be that? He didn't deny it.
And it's possible that aliens were at the first Thanksgiving too, because
it's possible because we don't know.
Yeah,
that's right. That's how this works.
How did the Pilgrims know where to land?
I'm just saying.
Without, space age technology coming down.
Who put that rock there?
How did they know there would be a rock there if they were in England?
They put it there. Who put it there?
Exactly. I'm not saying it's not aliens, but it's aliens.
If you can't prove that it's not, then it might be.
I'm not saying it's not KOTOR,
it's a possibility.
But it's KOTOR. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a possibility.
So for a day or two, the internet went wild. Go KOTOR remake. Hooray. BioWare is going to redo this, all this shit, blah, blah, blah. And it's not going to happen.
Well,
I would be extremely surprised.
So Brian is officially coming out and whipping out whipping out the big hung Jawa and saying, no, this is not going to happen.
It's not a KOTOR remake.
And you're officially announcing that.
That's my official stance. I'll put it on wax.
I'm not so sure. I think it could still possibly be anything.
I guess. Well, maybe they'll do something else, Star Wars-y, but they're not going to redo the Revan story and all that shit with the Ender Spire and all that. I don't think it needs to be retold like that.
Well, you don't think it needs to be retold, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't get retold. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, if anything, one of the things that you are seeing a little bit happen nowadays, you're seeing these old games kind of get a new life to them, where they're taking them, they're re-rendering them.
Sure. And that's happening with KOTOR.
And
there's a third party that's rendering Knights of the Old Republic using a modern game, the Unreal game engine, and they're revamping that game.
And
unofficially, they're not licensed. They're not a Disney, EA, Bioware property. It's just a couple dudes with all the assets and the data files, and they're re-rendering it in a new engine.
So the thing is that you're saying they're re-releasing KOTOR unofficially,
without affiliation.
So you're saying
it's like the bootleg.
So basically, you just contradicted yourself. So you're saying that 100% not going to re-release
Bioware,
KOTOR, but they are
Disney.
re-releasing KOTOR, but not the same.
It's a different they.
So okay,
it's a different they.
Well, there's no different they. It's all the same they, dude. I don't care. No matter what anybody says, they is they.
Well, plus this KOTOR re-rendering project has been in
dude. I know what's going on.
It works for a year, so you are the smoking man. What the fuck, dude? I know you.
So no, and I get what you're saying. Okay, so it's like a pet project to somebody, but
right.
You have seen that happen where they've just basically taken the same game before
and they
put it in a new engine, shining it up a little bit because they're just using the same properties, the same.
Blizzard did that with StarCraft.
Yeah,
they put new graphics on StarCraft,
and that worked pretty fine. It was actually pretty cool. So I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that there's. I don't know. I mean, on one hand, I think that there's enough people that would be interested in the story if they knew about the story.
Right.
Because I think that's also part of the reason why you don't see a lot of young blood playing SWTOR. I mean, for MMOs being what they are,
because they don't have the history of,
but they don't have the history, or they're not interested in the history because they haven't seen it. I remember watching that or seeing the trailer for KOTOR and going, "Who the fuck is that dude?"
Yeah,
I was like, "He
looks kind of badass.
I want to check that out." Whatever, I was like, "Yeah, that's all right." And wanting to kind of apply this story and actually see what this universe looked like 3,000 years ago. Like see some of the history of it and how they tied it in, because the reverse then was the Easter eggs forward to like all the things that were
like Alderaan and shit like
and
that,
Dantooine and some of like some of those things that give you this flash forward to. Where you are taking place now, or at least in the canon now. So that was kind of the cool thing that you get out of KOTOR back in the day. And I think that I think as people become more involved with the universe, with the new movies coming out, with the Rogue One, with the side stories, the Han Solo story, with some of the other stuff that's going to be popping in and out, I think that they're kind of looking for other avenues to explore the Star Wars universe in a different way. And I think if BioWare and EA and Disney were smart, that's going to be one of the places where they could capitalize on that and do something with that. But I don't know, or give me a fucking Battlefront DLC that throws me back 3,000 years. That's Old Republic era. I mean, some of the old shit, or something like that.
That'd be cool.
But so it's all speculation right now.
It is, but and I really like the idea.
One dude who has
one dude who wrote an article.
On a blog about.
He got a bunch of clicks
with unnamed resources. Yeah, so well, that's what happens
on good authority with those unnamed resources.
Well, it's possible. Somebody,
you never know.
Somebody taking a shit next to somebody at BioWare said something in
the
toilet. And next thing you know,
it happens.
There you go. All right, we have a rumor.
Yeah,
cool.
But should they? I like the idea of getting new audiences interested in the Old Republic era.
True.
Because this is the only property that focuses on it. Aside from a couple of the books that are not canon, aside from SWTOR,
first two games,
and all this stuff that's way back catalog. I like getting it in front of new eyes. But I wonder, should that be a video game, Or should it be an animated series? Or should it be a set of comic books? Or should it be, a feature-length film would be cool. So but they got to get some new eyes in front of this property.
Yeah.
Because it seems like they're not marketing SWTOR as it is. So it would be cool if there was some other draw towards this era,
I know. And that's the thing is like, it's churn, right? It's
sure.
You lose people, you gain people. You lose people, you gain people.
Yep.
Everything's fueled by the young. It doesn't matter what it is, music industry,
cars,
cars, radio, like everything's fueled by young people bringing new people in. Why? Because everybody sort of ages out of stuff eventually.
Right.
Whatever it is, you
grow
up, you grow out of it, you get tired of it or whatever.
Before you have your family, you're spending your money. So,
and I don't feel like, granted, I don't, whether or not I want to play with a bunch of 12-year-olds. That's what got me out of like the old Xbox Live back in the day. But the thing is, I don't feel like there's a lot of young people that are adopting the MMO sort of thing anymore.
Right.
It's not as popular with those kids anymore because it also, what we don't see, and I've harped on this before, is that we don't see it cross-platform with what you can play
with mobile or a tablet,
mobile tablet or console. So because the other thing is like when you're Xbox One or your PS4 is the engine to your entertainment system at your house.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to spend $2,000 on a decent,
on a computer,
on a good PC to be able to run something in the way it's supposed to look or not? So
right.
It's like, do I want to fork over that kind of money at that age? It's like, or just get a $300 Xbox One and play shit off Steam and be good with it. I can play fucking Slugcat or whatever, the new one. You haven't seen Slugcat?
Is that like the antithesis to Taco Cat?
Slugcat is a whole different thing. It doesn't spell Slugcat backwards. Taco Cat does. But
right.
So it's, I don't know. I think that trying to bring the MMO, which I hate to say this because it sounds weird, to bring the MMO lifestyle to a younger audience is going to be more and more difficult without doing more cross-platform.
Without different platforms.
You
got to go where your audience is. You really do.
An engaging story. Like the story's got to be compelling enough that it's going to bring people in. And at least the baseline story has got to be compelling enough. And I'm not saying like the storytelling that's in SWTOR is not good. I think it's actually
fantastic.
I think it's actually really good. But the baseline story that it stems from, I don't think people are familiar enough with it. Like who the fuck is Revan? In the end, do you really find out who Revan is in this game?
Yeah,
not really. You kind of have to know.
Yeah.
So it's like
just playing SWTOR by itself, you don't know his whole backstory. And all
but if you see a series on TV and you go, oh, that's a pretty cool character, and then you realize that character is tied to this video game, and you can see the way that he goes down, like how this plays out.
And that's what they need to do. Like it would take a Disney and a Marvel, like do print comic books, do a Netflix show, and then end the Netflix show, and then you continue it in the video game.
Mm-hmm. Something like
that. Some sort of cross media platform overarching story of Old Republic shit. That would get people involved. That would make money.
I think it's one of the only ways that you're going to be able to bring in some new crop of people at the bottom end.
You got to go where the audience is.
Yeah. Well, and you're growing or dying. It's
one of those.
It's one or the other. And unfortunately, I think we've heard that there's a lot of new subscribers, that there's a lot of new people that are playing the game.
Right.
Is that don't know for
where are they
fact,
coming from? Where are they coming from? How do they find out?
Or are they coming from other MMOs, or are they coming back, or what's going on with it? So I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
So the new SWTOR series coming soon, right?
Yeah.
To Hulu.
The Old Republic land. Yeah. It would be fucking rad. Like those stories need to be retold. I would love to see them become part of the Disney official canon.
The official canon, yeah.
And I think all that shit is pretty cool. And we know that the Bioware crew works with the Disney story crew. Like whenever they release some new story, it's all approved and official. But SWTOR is still kind of in that weird gray area of not canon, not official. So it would be nice to tell the Revan story at least and encapsulate that. Put out something new in any medium. As long as you fucking market it enough, it's going to succeed.
It's fucking Star Wars.
It's going to put it in front of eyeballs. It's Star Wars.
Put SW on anything, it's going to sell.
For real.
So, and he's got a cool mask. So,
right.
Life is good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I mean, they're still selling Revan action figures and shit.
I know,
so,
right? Mm-hmm.
So it's going to sell, but I don't think that Bioware Austin is working on that project right now. I think it would be
Brian
cool to be done, but
100% that it's not happening.
Not happening.
Okay, all right. I'll believe you. I'll take you.
Okay.
I'll take
my word for it.
All right, cool.
And opinion subject to change. Just follow me on Twitter.
Good times. Speaking of it, you follow us everywhere. Twitter, Facebook.com/badfeelingpodcast, iTunes. Search us, you put us in the damn search bar, you're going to find it, man. And
Stars.
Also badfeelingpodcast.com. You go there, you can get our sounds, you can get our soundboard, you can get our forums.
Links out to all our shit too.
Links to everything.
YouTube now.
Links to Patreon. YouTube. What?
That's
just crazy.
Moving pictures, dude.
That's just crazy.
Takes a lot of fucking time.
I know. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on at badfeelingpodcast.com. On the socials, we mentioned that. Patreon.com/badfeelingpodcast. Is that everything else? I think I was going to. Make sure you find us on Shadowlands if you want to play with us. Also, our contest. Has delayed.
Shit.
I was like, I mentioned it like before we started recording. We're going to talk about our contest because our contest that was going to happen for all you people that were going to kill the God of Rage, and now you are the God of Rage. Hold your rage in. Don't let it out until you
don't get all blacked up though.
You can let it out all over Tithe next week. So
that's right.
Make sure that if you look on Facebook, I posted the thing with what you got to do and all that stuff. But basically what you got to do is you got to go and you got to kill Tithe.
Yes.
And you got to take a picture of yourself.
Take a screen cap and email it to brian@badfeelingpodcast.com.
And
as many times different characters as you can. And if you do it in story mode, that'll get you 1 entry. If you do it in veteran mode, that'll get you 2 entries. We're going to randomly select a winner for how much, Chuck? Tell them.
200 million credits?
Credits.
Yeah, credits. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I almost said dollars. I was like, oh, shit.
No.
Wrong.
Wait a minute.
Credits. Yeah. So 200 million credits, which you can do. You can do a couple of things with that.
You can buy a fleet of guild ships. You can
fucking
buy hover chairs and lightsaber pikes and all this shit.
Buy all kinds of stuff with that. So I mean, you
never have to craft a game.
I was thinking that you could wind up using that for it'd be a good guild thing, to build a guild or something like that.
That'd be nice.
So,
yeah.
Whatever you want to do it for. And it's not, and it's also not limited to per like raid frame, like one person per raid or anything like that. So you can go with
if your whole group does it.
And if you're in a guild and there's 8 of you in that guild, everybody takes a screenshot and can submit to it as well. So make sure that if you're in there or if you pug it, don't tell anybody, and that way you can
keep it all to yourself.
Yeah, keep it all to yourself. So don't worry about it.
So enter as many times as you can kill Tithe, which is, theoretically one time, twice a week.
And whenever it comes out, who knows if it'll be next week or not.
Probably the 18th through whatever that is, May 2nd. We're going to run it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All servers, Europe, North America, whatever. Just get those screenshots into brian@badfeelingpodcast.com.
So yes.
Win.
Good times.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
I got a bad feeling about this podcast.